How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Braz? What's up, buddy?
Oh, not much. Sorry it took me so long. I had
It's
to
all good.
deal
Yeah.
with the link.
Oh, I got you.
It took me like 6 minutes to figure out how to get here.
Oh, yeah, and I can figure out how to put it into Google Hangout app so people, you just go to the Google Hangout app and you click on it there, but I couldn't even add anyone. So I had to put it into the stupid link. I mean, the description box.
Yeah, you could always put it in the chat.
Oh, okay. I could do it that way.
You could. I mean,
Is it easier that way?
I'm not sure. I've never done that before.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm just, and then also like YouTube is getting rid of Hangouts. So where the hell else is everyone going to go? I mean, what? How is it going to work?
Zoom.
I don't know. I hope like YouTube's not trying to like censor people and stuff. I hope not.
I think it's gonna also be on. I think they have YouTube Live as well.
Oh, okay. I hope so. I hope there's something that's close to Hangouts. I thought Hangouts, I mean, generally got the job done. I don't know why they're trying to change that or take it away. I don't know. It's stupid to me.
It's their. They lost a lot of money,
Oh, okay.
so they're downsizing.
I see.
So you talking to your good old friend James White?
Yeah, good old James White.
Mhm.
And see, yeah, he went on a rampage against my buddy, Lane Flowers. I don't, and Lane Flowers doesn't always story tell about the gospel of Christ, and I think he's trying to stigmatize James White. And I think that's uncalled for. I mean, not James White. He's trying to stigmatize Lane Flowers, and to me, that's uncalled for.
Yeah,
To go on a smear campaign. I mean, just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean you have to go into smear campaign. And he's one of these guys that tries to show off like he's really, Mr. Christian, like he has all the stuff going on. I mean, he should be more kind and be more compassionate to people like Leighton Flower.
he's a Calvinist, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
That explains it.
Oh gosh, yeah, even RC too, and I mean, they kind of like have the same qualities almost, but I just had a debate against him, and like it was really weird. Like only him, I had problems with my mic, and he tried to like make it clear I had mic problems, but it was only with him and his and this stupid Discord. I hate Discord, but we tried to go from Discord and stuff, and I had problems, and it made my mic go like 80% higher, and I sound like a freaking robot from Transformers,
I mean, you normally sound like that anyway.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But I tried different mics and it didn't work. I kept on getting cut off, only with him. And even this one guy said after he left, my mic was working fine.
It's trying
So,
to protect you.
yeah. Like everything was predestined and stuff with these people. It's so stupid to me, Calvinism.
Well, God predestined your mic not to work.
It was JD was in there, but he had problems too when we were going through with him. Originally, it was his idea, JD, to have this debate.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think we're going to debate on the Trinity soon too.
That's good. Oh, man, you guys have had so many debates with each other.
Yeah, we have. Um, yeah, it's gonna be friendly though. At least that'll happen.
Yeah, so you're gonna go over to him, like you're gonna tell him all about your heretical beliefs.
Yeah, modalism. I think he thinks I believe in modalism, and that's not what I believe in anyway. I believe in oneness. I think oneness is,
Arianism.
area. I heard that one too. Yeah. Yeah, they are Unitarians, but I don't think they believe that God is. I mean, that Jesus is God, though.
They don't.
Yeah.
Unitarian, I mean, Arianists believe that Jesus is just a prophet.
Yeah, it's just like the Muslims. I don't even know what the Jews. Oh, I know what the Jews think of Christ because they wrote the Talmud.
Not good.
No, no, it's not.
Well, I mean, apparently, Mary was raped by a Roman soldier.
Yeah, and like he's in piss and all this other stuff in hell. So
That's lovely.
yeah, I wonder who conjured up that.
Mhm. So I take it they don't like him.
No, they don't.
Well, funny, Jesus didn't like them either. They kind of are the reason why he got hung on the cross.
Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah,
Although I remember what they'll say that Jesus condoned anti-Semitism.
yeah,
Like he was a Jew.
yeah. Exactly. How would you even? I mean, how does that even make? Yeah, it makes no sense to say like if he was anti-Semitic and he is actually Semitic. So okay.
He hated himself.
Yeah, I made a meme about that with Calvinism, and it says they hated me without a cause. And like, if you take it that in the Calvinistic sense, I hated myself. I hated myself without a cause. That's basically what it comes down to with Calvinism.
Well, yeah. I don't know if RC is actually a determinist. I think he ranges from determinism to compatibilist.
Yeah, I think he's compatibilist.
Um, I know that is something I will get on people about when that is a general, what's they call that? They call it a generalization and an
Yeah,
unfair one, where people will just assume a Calvinist is automatically a determinist
yeah,
when that's not the case.
yeah, yeah. True, but to me, isn't that like I mean, are you? I mean, to me, they're the same almost. But are they different? I'm trying to like.
So they're a little bit different.
Okay.
Like compatibilists generally say that while things are determined, it doesn't really matter because we still have the choice anyway.
Okay.
I mean, I like to frame it as like how they put it, where God could know your choices and everything, but you're still the one choosing them.
Oh, okay.
So it can be sort of like that. You can take it like that.
Well, that's what I believe in. I think that would probably describe what my beliefs are. Is that he knows what he knows what you believe, but it's you that are I mean, his knowledge is contingent on your belief. I mean, what you choose.
Well, I mean, it's like he would know beforehand what you're going to do,
Yeah.
but you're still choosing it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to put it like this: is like if you watched a movie 50 times,
Mm-hmm.
you would eventually know everything that's going to happen in that movie down to the words.
Yeah.
But at no point would you think, oh, because I can predict what's going to happen in this movie, therefore the people aren't making choices in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, he would just simply know what you're going to do and everything, but that's it. Like you're still choosing.
Yeah. Then I think that would. I mean, if I guess I'm a compatibilist, then I mean, the way you explained it, then I guess I'm being. I mean, that probably describes what I am. So
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I mean, I thought that it was really just a technical difference. Like, I mean, they're basically the same, but it's just a
Well,
technicality or something.
a determinist would be someone that just denies free will altogether.
Okay.
Um, a compatibilist will say there's free will, but just in a different sense than we give it.
Okay. Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Personally,
Cool.
like my problem with compatibilists really is like they explain general like from papers I've read on it, they explain like why we have this feeling of free will, but they never, in my opinion, they don't ever explain how we actually have it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
Which
what
I
I was
mean,
trying to find out too. Like, where's the free will established? I mean, who does God give it to you? I mean, how do they explain that?
yeah, no, I mean, sure, you can explain why we feel like we have free will, but that's sort of like explain like you can explain how I feel like I want a sandwich, but that doesn't mean there's actually a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why. Okay, then maybe then as far as that part, then I don't agree with compatibilism. I'd probably be more than the libertarian type, or I think
Yeah.
IP has something else though. He called it agent causation.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't-
that is one form of it.
yeah, so
He works with
something like that.
idealism.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you hear about his debate with Aaron Raw?
Yes, is it happening or is it going? I hope it's going to happen.
It's already happened.
Oh, it did. Oh my gosh. And when is it going to be posted? I haven't seen it. I mean, is he going to
Um,
post it?
they said it's going to be at the end of the week.
Oh man, I can't wait to see it.
IP said that he thinks he won it
Oh, sweet.
because
What's your
because basically Aaron Raw just stuck mainly on politics the entire debate.
and what's this about how bad Christianity ruins
Well, the question is Christianity good for
yeah,
society?
yeah.
Obviously, Aaron says no. IP says yes, and Aaron mainly just stuck to like dominionist in politics.
And it sounds like Dillahunty's debate too with IP. IP, yeah, I thought wiped the floor with him on um was it it's like good for like is it mentally or spiritually?
Is
Yeah.
religion good for society? Is what he debated
Yeah.
Matt Dillahunty on.
Yeah, it was pretty similar. And I thought that Dillahunty got whooped on
Well,
that
I mean,
debate.
it was like worse with Dillahunty because Dillahunty just really just kept the thought experiments the entire time.
Yeah. He
Aaron,
had one
Aaron,
source.
Aaron at the very least, went out there with something.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, he did. You could say he did slightly better because he actually went out there with an argument.
Wow. I
Well,
can't wait to
Matt
see that.
Dillahunty didn't.
And what's your thoughts of Aaron Rowe? What do you think? Are you friends with him or anything? Or you
No, I'm not friends with him at all. I actually have
okay?
him blocked. But his stuff on evolution, I think, is good. That's probably about the
Mhm.
only subject that he can do good. If you get him into philosophy or history, oh, he's just stupid as hell.
Yeah,
Because like he's a Christ myther.
he is. Yeah, I watched him. He went on Matt Slick's channel one time, and I thought he was embarrassed there. I thought that was funny as heck. I don't know if you've seen that debate yet.
I'm not sure. I mean, that's just the whole thing. It's just stupid.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the things that atheists say are self-refuting, and like, there's this phrase that like people like on the non sequitur show love what he said. It's his motto. It's if you can't show it, then bitch you don't know it. And I said, can you show that?
You can just put it right back on him. The same thing. Oh, and did you hear about the debacle between Steve and that other
Oh
guy
yeah,
that owned?
and Stephen Kyle.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I did a video on it and everything.
really. And what's your thoughts on? I thought Steve was kind of screwed there, in my
Oh yeah, I
opinion.
agree. Steve got screwed
Yeah.
with it. Kyle, I call him Kyle Cuntus.
Oh, so he's a
But
money hungry one, huh? So yeah, I
yeah,
figured.
pretty much. Well, here's what we're thinking. We're thinking that he spent the money,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
So you
why
can't
he's
even
not
pay
giving
him.
Steve the books.
Oh man, I'm not laughing at Steve. I'm just laughing at the situation. I just can't believe that.
He probably spent it on hair gel and fancy suits.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, yeah, it was just stupid because they were supposed to be splitting everything 50-50, and Kyle just
Yeah.
took the money.
And it was Steve's idea, as far as I know, with the name of the show, right? Non sequitur.
Yeah, he's the one that
Unbelievable.
made the channel.
Wow. I mean, that is, underhanded. That's very Uh,
Well, I mean, you could say Steve got stabbed in the back by a gay
oh
guy.
yeah. Oh, he's gay.
Not Steve, Kyle.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's Kyle. Okay, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's
Oh,
super
okay.
gay.
I didn't know that. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know he was gay? He kind of
No,
goes all out about it.
I never heard him really. Yeah, talk about it.
Well, and he did one video with Emperor Atheist
Hmm.
where he got on Emperor Atheist because he made a homophobic remark where basically he said he wouldn't go near a gay pride parade or he wouldn't,
Oh,
or basically he said that he found like what they're doing at the gay pride parade disgusting or something.
yeah.
And Kyle and his gang got him for that.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Yeah.
And also, there is a feud also in the atheist experience with this. There's another dude with that.
Rationality rules.
Yeah, rationality rules. Isn't that interesting how this is unfolding with the atheist camp?
I know, I love it.
I know. I love the suspense and drama. It's so funny.
It's not even the
Well,
drama. I just love the idea of just seeing them fracture more.
yeah, and because I mean, it's so ironic that the stuff that they claim Christians do, they are doing it and they're unraveling and right in front of our eyes doing it. So yeah, I have the same sentiments as you.
Well, I mean, just remember, apparently those are supposed to be the ones that are going to be organizing society and making it a better
Yeah.
place when they can't even agree amongst each other.
Yeah, they're the forefront of rationality and and all this science and all this other stuff. It's so funny.
Well, I mean, I already explained why, like, I think religious people do better when it comes to groups.
Yeah.
It's because they have a shared experience
Yeah.
that filters through. I mean, not a shared experience, a shared story.
Yeah,
So,
and yeah, it's more deeper. It's like there's more deeper connection, like you can say that.
well, because, you can have a complete disagreement with a fellow Christian, but you can both look back and say, oh, well, we have a shared story.
Right.
So, like, you can have a conservative and liberal Christian going at each other's throat over politics, but they'll generally like still get back to each other and they'll
Yeah.
remember that they both believe in Jesus.
Right, and we're under the grace of God, and we're given that grace we don't deserve. So you're exactly right.
So I mean, that's the difference because they have that shared story that they can fall back on. Atheists don't have that.
No, they don't.
All they have is a lack of belief.
Yeah, a
Well,
lack
they
of
have that shared
power,
belief.
a believing power. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, like do you think if you told your and like your bill company, wherever your bills, you're gonna say, well, I have a lack of belief in paying these bills, and you think that's gonna work? No, I mean that
No.
that's not gonna
Well,
work.
no. Well, don't worry. Bernie Sanders and the Democrats will pay off your bills
Yeah, exactly.
using your own money.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing substantial or justified or grounded in the atheist camp. I don't see how anyone could be atheist. I mean, if even at the very least, be a
Money.
deist. Oh, money. Yeah, good point. That's exactly a good point because even the other day I did a post on Richard Dawkins. He's a billionaire. I didn't know he was a billionaire. That's
I thought he
ridiculous.
was
I
just a
mean,
millionaire.
no, he's up in the billionaires. I
That's
mean, he's up in
lovely.
the billions. Yeah, and because he put books out or something against Christianity. Are you serious? I mean, really?
Yeah.
So it is big business, I guess. You're a good point there.
Well, that he was rich to begin with because he comes from a wealthy family.
Ah, okay, that makes sense too. Okay.
So I mean, have you ever realized that like two of the four atheists, Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris, both came from a wealthy background?
Okay.
And
Wow.
the only real reason why Sam Harris got a PhD was so he could be taken more seriously.
Yeah.
He didn't even actually do the experiments to get into the neuroscience.
It figures, yeah.
He just designed he designed the experiment and had someone else carry it out.
Wow, I didn't know this.
Yeah, he never
Um,
actually and here you can get and the two papers that he wrote, like that's the only papers like in about 10 years of having his PhD, he's written like a collective two papers.
Unbelievable. So, do you have? I mean, where did you find this out? Because I was always trying to learn more about this.
Wintry Night is one of them.
Okay,
A Christian apologist.
interesting.
I looked more into it myself, and I found like it was true.
Wow.
And one statistician got into his papers, like, and he found so many methodology flaws that he said it was just crap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Wow, that's some great information. Wow, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, let me know that because I thought that he was more of a protected entity and then, the atheist camp where he would never be exposed, And well, no, I guess there is stuff out there about him. That's pretty cool.
Well, that and philosophers and other neuroscientists either don't know who he is or just don't take him seriously at all.
Oh man, and it's even with Richard Dawkins too. Like no one takes him serious in the atheist camp. Like I
Well,
hear
he's only a
atheist,
zoologist.
yeah, just a zoologist anyway. So
And the last time that he actually contributed really anything to science, it was before I was even born.
yeah, another
Yeah.
one, Richard Carrier too. Like there's nothing in the theological community or scholars or anything that recognize him. They think he's a joke.
I know.
And the atheists just freaking swarm on him like ants, and like they love him, and all they do is cite him, and he's just a fringe scholar.
I know.
And
And he's also into polyamory.
Oh, really? I think he abused his wife too, as far as I know. I saw some dirt on him with that. You never heard about that?
He cheated on his wife.
Yeah.
He cheated on his wife, and he's actually banned from SkepticCon because he got accused of sexually assaulting two women.
Wow, unbelievable.
He tried to countersue the women for like $2 million or something.
Wow.
Needless to say, he didn't get the money.
Oh, what a little weasel. And then
And here's what's funny thing is, he's actually pretty much broke. He makes basically minimum wage.
and he's not even the one atheist that gets money, and it to me it is all political, and like you say that there's the motivation there for that, the money, but he doesn't even make money. I mean, that's so hilarious to hear that.
Yeah. Like, he basically makes minimum wage, and that's it. He gets paid like going to these atheist events, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and then he goes through these real wild scenarios that like you would have to conjure up in your mind to, imagine. You have to imagine these things and like conspiracy theories. That's all he has is this wild stuff.
Well, I mean, just remember Cosmic Sperm Bank.
I think I've heard of that too. And then like the resurrection too. He thought it was a spiritual resurrection or something. It's so stupid, the stuff that he brings out in the community. It's so stupid. And then Richard Price is another one. Like his conspiracy theories out there are incredibly stupid too.
Well, Richard Price is actually a legitimate theologian, and
yeah, but did you hear his? Did someone ask him a question? I don't know if you were. Hey, who's? I think I heard someone else in here.
That's what she said.
We need to get JMD in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know if you heard of. Did you watch that debate on Modern Day Debate with Jonathan? Oh, I forgot his
Sheffield.
last Sheffield, yeah. And someone asked him a question in the question and answer section. What is your percentage do you believe that Jesus did not exist? I mean, after all an hour and a half presentation, I mean, just really exhaustively going through the things that the reason, I mean, so many inconsistencies and blah, blah, blah. And he answered the question 1%. He thinks there's 1% that Jesus is not real. I mean, come on, really? I mean, what's the point of even going on there if you think that there's only 1% chance that Jesus is not real?
Mhm.
Do you believe
I
that?
know.
Like, I mean, what's the point? Like, gosh.
Yeah, but he's a nice guy though. Outside of
Yeah, he's
his,
very smart. Yeah, very intelligent.
I like, you know, I actually because he's like one of the only mythicists that's not out there just to destroy Christianity.
No, and he made that clear. I respect that about him. He's very intelligent, though. I think he's almost too smart for his good on some things, like because he's too analytic on some things. And
He's
like,
also a Republican.
really, wow,
He's a big Donald Trump fan.
wow, go figure. But I don't
It's
consider,
yeah.
yeah, Donald Trump to be, like the masterpiece of Christianity either.
Well, I mean, just remember, man, he's a he talks to God all the time.
Yeah, and Jesus picked him. I mean, like, you hear those evangelical Christians, like Jesus, that's his personal, checkerboard piece or whatever, chess piece.
Yeah. Well, well, I mean, I said if God's talking to Trump, then I feel bad for God.
Yeah, and like, did you see this? His house is full of gold and stuff. Are you serious? There's nothing humble about Donald Trump. It's all materialistic and it's all power, and he is
Well,
also
to
very
be
arrogant too.
well, I mean, to be fair, the Bible says nothing about having lots of money. It
Yeah,
just says not to be in love with money,
right.
but
Yeah,
he's in love with money.
yeah, he's in love with money. So, it's true. Like,
I
even
don't
I
think you, I
heard,
don't think yeah. I don't think you can say a guy that has a gold like he makes his hotel golden does not love money.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know if you
But
heard.
you also have to remember that he started off in Brooklyn with a small loan of one
Oh
million
yeah,
dollars.
yeah, that's right. But I think he grew up a little bit. He had like like high class though, as far as I know. His parents in the Central Park area there.
Well, I mean, just remember his hair. The amount of money it takes to maintain his hair is more money than you'll ever see in your life.
That's true though. That's true. And
Yeah,
like, I mean, even like his limousines and stuff will be probably more money than people make in their lifetime.
yeah. Like I know.
And then like
Um,
he is, I mean, he does okay as far as politics, his jobs and stuff. I'll give him that. But I mean, to add him in the Christian camp and be, a example of Christianity, I don't see it. I mean, that's just my opinion, though.
well, I mean, they say he talks to God all the time, and I said, yeah. The thing they don't tell you is that he thinks he's God,
Yeah, really.
so he's just talking to himself the entire time.
Yeah, and I think that's not far from the real truth though. But I hope not. I hope he really is, trying to find God and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know his heart. As a Christian, I can't judge him or anything. But
Well, he did say this one time. He says he's never asked to God for forgiveness because he's never
yeah,
felt that he needed to be forgiven.
yes, I heard that too. He didn't repent. And I mean, that's the whole tenet. I mean, one of the major tenets of Christianity. So he can't circumvent that. So I think he has
Mhm.
an issue of humble, like, coming out and saying that you are a sinful person. And like people, it's hard for people to admit that they're sinful and that they're flawed. And maybe that's the problem. Like, he doesn't want to be confronted with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pride issue. But everyone has their own issues, though. I don't know. I mean, that's
A pride issue.
so. I mean, there's a lot of people like that, though. They're not even rich. So it's just this is part of the human heart thing that this world is. Why we're in the trouble we're in.
Well, I mean, just remember, approval for gay people has actually gone drastically down.
Really?
Yep.
Now, yeah, as far as like the NIFB, I don't know if you heard of them and stuff, and they go out
Oh
and
yeah,
say
I heard
kill
about that. I actually
homos
did a
and
video
stuff.
on them as well.
Yeah, and that is such a misrepresentation and a distortion of what the text says. There's nothing in the Bible that, if you understand doctrine like grace and law, I mean, there's nothing there that permits that.
Well, I mean, I hate them on two different grounds.
Yeah.
One, for the moral thing, and two, for political, because they want to get the government involved in killing gay people. And I'm like, so you're too much of a coward to do it yourself, so you have to get the government involved.
Yeah, exactly.
That's even worse. At least Muslims, they do it themselves.
Good point. Yeah, good point. And then they have to attack Christian organizations and stuff. Why? And just leave them alone. Why do
I
you have
know.
to be out? Why do you have to be like the word pride? Like you have to be flamboyant about it and stuff, and impose your own beliefs down people's throats. I mean, it's just like they're their own extremist, fundamentalist group themselves, just like the other fundamentalist Christians that get in people's face, and stuff like that.
Well, that's not the only thing they're shoving down each other's throats, too.
Oh man, yeah, that's true though. Like, I mean, I could be. I mean, I don't want to go down that road too much, but yeah,
They already do.
yeah, they do. And but to see that, I mean, I could bring up the statistics and stuff on STDs, and I mean, so I
Like
mean,
AIDS.
yeah, and they have the highest amount of STDs. I mean, that's just the truth, though. I mean, those are the facts. I mean, just because I bring it out doesn't mean I'm like a hateful bigot or anything. It just means I'm just saying the truth.
We'll just say that just say the magic 6 words. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yep. Man,
So you can imagine how much you can trigger them doing that.
I'm triggered. I love triggering people because at least I know I see how justified they are in their beliefs. And someone that gets triggered and they can, defend it, and I respect that. But if you get triggered and all you do is cuss at people and you have nothing to defend it, to me you're showing you're a fake. I think that's good to expose that.
Well, I mean, I like just doing it just to mess with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what I know was funny is like Surus and some of the atheists on Twitter, they said stuff about how, what's the word? Oh yeah, atheists on Twitter, they had said about the NIFB, and I said, well, they just care about the overpopulation. Well, I mean, no, wait, it was funny is like because they're also pro-choice as well. And I just put up them. Well, the NIFB only cares about the overpopulation issue.
Yeah. Exactly.
The only difference between them and pro-choicers is who they want to kill.
Exactly. Oh man. How come you never go like on like debates and stuff? Because I've seen the way your arguing tactics and stuff are pretty good. You should go modern day debate or some other channel. I'd love to see you.
I did one debate with RCA.
Really? On what?
The Virgin Mary.
What was your position and what was his?
It was the historicity of the Virgin Mary.
I'm gonna watch. Is that somewhere on YouTube or is it?
It's on Modern Day Debate.
Oh man, I want to watch that. And when was this? Like 2 years ago, or?
This was probably about in December last year.
Wow, I didn't know this. This is going to be awesome. It's something I'm going to watch later.
Yeah, it was actually very good. We actually brought up a bunch of sources, although it was so freaking funny about what he did. He he brought up how women can, like, I don't know if I should tell it, but like, he tried to argue for basically natural virgin births,
Mm-hmm.
where like a woman will do will take it from behind and
Oh my gosh.
it will go into her and she'll become pregnant like from that. And the funniest thing about it is like, you know, he also brought the fun fact that, did you know that a vagina is like typically 5 inches in diameter?
He really brought that up.
Yeah, and what was even funnier? That the entire time he sounded very grossed out having to say it.
Yeah, he was getting pleasure, meanwhile, they're trying to sound that way.
No, I mean, it was funny because, like, he said, because he was saying, I know this sounds dirty. These are dirty words.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was going to tell him, dude, I say worse than this when I wake up in the morning.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna watch that debate. That's gonna be so good.
And I brought up lizards,
Lizards,
like whiptail lizards.
uh-huh.
They're like, the women there can give birth without being, without having sex.
Yeah, nature can do that. It's called a.
Although there is one little problem with doing that with Jesus.
Yeah.
It's because whenever creatures do that, asexual creatures do that,
Mm-hmm.
it always comes out the same sex as the mother.
Yeah, yeah.
So if Mary did have that, Jesus would have been a girl.
Yeah, it's called a parthenogenesis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that doesn't explain it. Now, if Jesus was instead Jonas or something like this, or, some girl name, then yeah, you could go that route.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess in nature it could have, but there is one really, in crazy instance. I don't know if you ever heard of this. There was one lady in China, I think, that she said she had a virgin birth. I just don't. I mean, I don't know if you can. Did you ever hear about that one or?
No.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up.
Well, I mean, the guy that she was with pulled it up as well. That's why she got pregnant.
I'll show it on my screen here. You'll still see this one particular story.
Oh, so how's your little love affair with Digital Hammurabi and Skylar Fiction going?
It's like they're trying to, like, I think they're trying to ignore me for some reason, but I just thought of something. I think this would be a great allegiance with me and you versus them two. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think we could buzzsaw right through some of their some of their misconceptions of the Old Testament, especially the way you explain it. I think, man, that would be an awesome duo. I'd love to have that.
Well, yeah, I mean, because here's the thing: is like they have a misconception. Like I feel like with regards to I think Christians get it wrong too, because they like to say, like, here's how both sides argue with it. In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
they'll say that they're like, the atheists will say that they differentiated between Hebrew servants and foreign slaves, while Christians will say no, they were just both servants.
Yeah.
And what I say is that I bite the bullet. I said, yeah, they are making a distinction, but between two types of servants.
Yeah.
One that had, their time, like, I basically compare it to two different types of warranties. You have one warranty that's sure to last 7 years, and you have warranty that's, that can last forever, but it doesn't have to.
Right.
So, and there was many options for them to get out, and it makes sense that it's like that because these laws are didactic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, just because it doesn't set a specific time frame for the slave to get out doesn't mean that they're there forever.
Exactly. And I didn't get a chance to bring this up really in the debate with me and Jill. And actually, the word forever, olam in the Hebrew, what Jews, like Jew scholars, they were saying that it was to either when the master died, that's what equaled olam, or when the 50th year hit. I forget, it's like, what do they call the 50th year? The Jubilee. So whenever the Jubilee landed,
Well, here's
or
what's funny is like, they show that they're illiterate sometimes because you remember that whole pierced ear thing with
yeah, yeah,
where they have the whole Hebrew servant where they're saying that there's a loophole.
yeah,
I said, because they'll say how the guy loves his wife and he loves his child. I mean,
yeah.
his child. But here's what they never read. But it's the first thing before that. He loved his master.
Yes, and I even showed the word love there, in the sense that in the Bible, in the biblical sense, it's unconditional love, and that type of sense. I think you responded on this in one of my videos. The word love there is it's a deeper type of intimate love. It's not like it's descriptive love, like it's skin deep love.
Well, I mean, the Bible, the people that wrote the Bible, I get on Christians about this too, because the Christians do the same thing, where they use their notion of love to describe the notion of love that people in ancient time periods did.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the case. Ancient people, because here's the thing, we're applying our individualistic society to collectivist societies.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, love for them didn't mean love for just that person. It meant love for the entire group.
Right.
And just like how when they say God hates Esau, that doesn't mean that God hates specifically Esau in the sense that he emotionally hates him.
Right.
It means that he hates Esau in the sense that he doesn't think Esau is the good, like a good person to lead his tribe.
Yeah.
So I mean, he hates him like in the same way a person that runs a business might not want a certain employee there.
Yes, and that's what Steve Gregg actually brought up. Exactly what you're saying, and he is a very strong, very good scholar in the Word of God. And actually, that's what it means in the Greek. In the Greek, anyway, it means love less or something like that. Exactly what you're bringing up.
It's all because that's what the hell all it was about. And that's what I was found funny is like it would be very hard for me to believe that a slave could love a master that's blackmailing him into into coming in. What you really see is you see a person that you see a servant that has came to love this family unit that he's gone to be accompanied with for a long time.
Yes.
And so he's choosing to be a part of it. And now people will say, well, they brand his ear, so that means like he's an animal.
No, he's doing it as a sign of a commitment, like it's
I mean,
like you would get a tattoo, like if you wanted to stay part of like a Los Angeles Lakers, to be part of that, you might get like a tattoo or something. That's the way I look at it.
Well, I mean, say if it was branding him as a property, and it's pretty odd that we have priests later on doing the exact same thing to each other.
Right, right.
So I mean, what do you think? The priests are calling themselves property? So I mean, no, it was just a sign of devotion. There was no
commitment.
Yeah, it was it was nothing to do with being a property.
Yeah, and that doesn't even make any sense. And even, did you know, like if Ezekiel 4, I don't know if you ever read this passage, Ezekiel 44:28, God himself describes himself as property. I'm going to be the property of Israel, and they are going to inherit me. That's the same language that's employed in the Mosaic covenant.
Yeah.
And like,
so you see my video with Matt Dillahunty?
That was a wonderful video. I thought that was really well. I mean, it's neat how you had Jay Sklar in there too, because that's one of the scholars I used in my debate too. I like Jay Sklar; he's pretty good.
I use it from Ty and Dale series.
Yeah, me too. It's like a blue, or it's like a magenta colored type of thing. You know, the book. I was going to get more into that.
Yeah,
And it's business
it's a
language.
very
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's what I always saying. Like now, people will always point out, well, look at how. I mean, I always found this funny because like they'll bring up the sex slave thing. I said, for one, you have to read sex slavery into that
Yeah.
because it's not implied at all.
No.
Like, they'll say, well, what else would the men use virgin women for? I said the reason why they took those virgin women is because they were the only people not guilty of the
Right.
crime. It wasn't because of sex. And they'll say, if you actually do the timeline periods in there, the women there would have had to have been at least 5.
Yeah.
So you're not just accusing them of being like sexual slave owners. You're accusing them of being pedophiles.
Right. And I brought something else up in the debate. I don't, or maybe not the debate, but I mean, in my other discussions with him, in my other videos, is these women POWs were bewailing their culture. It says they bewail. That's, if you look at that word, it means to have bitterness over something. They want to get the hell out of there. And they
Well, yeah, here's the thing: they weren't allowed to marry. They weren't allowed to marry into there if they didn't become an Israelite, because they were against what's the word? They were against intermarriage of 2 different tribes.
Yeah.
So if the women had to get married, they had to have converted.
Right, proselytized.
Yeah. And here's what's funny is like they don't ever really say like they'll say, well, what about all the differences between the foreign servant and the Hebrew servant? I said, have you ever heard of marketing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it was. It's marketing. It's saying, it's encouraging the foreigners to become part of the covenant by saying, hey, look, you see all the benefits these Hebrews are getting? Come join.
Right, exactly. And I even showed that in Isaiah 56 in my opening, that God was looking for these foreigners and he wanted them to come to him. I mean, why would he, if he's against them, why the hell would he be marketing them or marketing for them, like you're saying, Yeah,
it's all business.
Yeah.
And I know what they'll say about the sex slavery, and they'll say, oh, look how horrible it is that these women are being made into sex slaves. Did you just hear what happened to the little boys?
Yeah.
They just killed them. So, I mean, in a way, you could say the women got off easier.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just messed up.
It is. I might offer, if you're up for this, I might offer James, he can see what he could pull out. Me and you have a similar debate like me and Jill had, but see, you have a little more insight than Jill. I mean, Jill was going from more of a political standpoint on, and more general standpoint, but with your biblical knowledge and stuff, man, that would be so freaking awesome if we could collaborate together and have a debate against them. I'll bring it up, but it's up to you though, if you would, want to agree to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I've been all into the Bible since for let's say about a couple of years now.
I'm impressed with the stuff though. I've even learned stuff about the culture of Israel I never knew before when you went on JMD's channel. I mean, it's incredible stuff, I mean, I love learning from you. I think you're a great, you've learned a lot of a lot of knowledge. So I want to, hope you keep posting stuff about this because people learn and that's important.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm always about. I'm always about like just bringing up information.
Yeah. With women, you had some good women stuff too. Misogynism. I thought, boy, man, you had that video. In
sexism.
Fact, yeah, I might ask you. Do you know if I could? Would you allow me to mirror that to my channel? I mean, would that be okay if I mirror that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Sweet.
Yeah, sure, you can mirror that. Yes, although there's one stupid complaint that people keep giving me about that is where I put the definition in the beginning. They'll say in the origin, they'll say, well, we know sexism existed before the 1940s. I'm like, I never claimed we didn't.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
said I put up the definition and the origin because it's useful if you're going to say something is sexist or racist or whatever, that you
Right.
know the origin and where in defining terms.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's pretty stupid
And
objection there.
yeah, and what's funny is like in the Bible, like here's what's funny, like that people don't realize the word for rape in the Bible doesn't have to mean intercourse necessarily.
Right.
It can just mean assault or nabbing.
Mm-hmm.
It can mean like that. It doesn't necessarily have to mean intercourse.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, I mean, it's sort of like this. It's like we even know this about the English language. Um, the word rape in of itself does not dignify anything that has to do with sexual assault at all.
Yeah, and usually that's a buzzword that usually just means sexual I mean, like penetration. So I mean,
Oh
that's what
no, no. I mean, like
today.
know where the word rape comes from.
No.
Rape. I mean, I think it's Old English or Latin or something where it
Uh-huh.
says like rapier.
Oh, okay. That's where they
And
get the rapture from.
no rapier or something like that. Not rapture. Rapture is like 100 years old interpretation or something
Yeah.
that was made like by a mentally ill, like schizophrenic person.
Yeah, yeah. Mark McDonald.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that's weird. Like, but yeah, that was just like how it worked with it.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. See,
Yeah,
this is the stuff
rapier,
I
like
like to learn, though.
yeah, rapier is like it literally just means kidnapping, and
Oh, wow.
that's like literally what the word it was originally for. It was for like women that either ran off with a guy without the father's consent
Uh-huh.
or with a guy that literally just kidnapped the woman.
Wow. I didn't know that.
It
That is
didn't,
incredible.
yeah, it didn't even dignify any sex. Like they'll say, "Oh, this guy, he raped her," and you find it very clearly that she ran off with him. Like,
Yeah,
she was obviously a consenting adult. He raped her in the sense that he kidnapped her without
exactly.
the father's consent because rape was initially a crime against the father.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is, yeah, a good point, and that's something those type of things that it needs to be out there, and people need to understand terms. Yeah, exactly.
Well, another funny thing is, vagina is actually sexist if you look up the origins.
Really?
Yeah, it's Latin for sword sheath. Like, the thing that you put your sword in.
Oh my gosh!
Like,
Really?
yes, that's true. Like, because basically, when the word first came out, science obviously wasn't as far ahead as we are.
uh,
And it was generally just assumed by the men that the only thing that a woman's reproductive parts were good for was being penetrated by a man.
that's just ridiculous.
So they just saw like a vagina was just an inverted penis, and that was just their whole thing. And so that's why they call it a sword. Like that's why they call it a vagina, i.e., a sword sheath. It was a thing that you put your like quote unquote sword in.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's incredible. Oh my gosh. If you told people this, they'd probably blush and stuff. They wouldn't know. They would. I mean, probably even trigger people.
I know, I love it though.
Yeah, me too. There's something about kidnapping. I don't know if you knew this in the Hebrew. I was going to bring this up in the debate. That this word "ish,"
Oh, you got
where it says,
blue stacks?
yeah, I love BlueStack.
Sweet.
You can play games on here on your phone. I mean, from your like phone games and stuff.
Computer.
And yeah.
Yeah. I played Rick and Morty on there.
I want to. Is that? I'm gonna try that game.
Pocket
But
Mortys.
yeah, like this word ish though in the Hebrew, it can mean male and female, or the whole entire population. And they're gonna say here, like this. I call them digital quackerati,
Shamarabi.
and Sky Turtler, but they would say that this is only in relevance to an Israelite. But the word ish here has nothing to do with Israelite. That could mean all mankind. And I was going to bring that.
And a great man.
Right, it's just all people. No one, and that completely debunks slavery right there in one passage.
You know what I always found funny is like people will say that God was racist because he chose the Jews. I'm like, how are you going to imply racism in a time when it didn't really exist?
Right.
That's an anachronism.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they were tribalistic. I mean, you could say there's no debate on that. They were tribalistic as hell, but they weren't racist because that whole notion of race and identity that didn't exist. That didn't exist until long even after Jesus.
Yeah, like the concept of racism, you even have to understand exactly. You have to understand it for there to be racism.
Yeah, and they didn't have that. I mean, sure, they were tribalistic as hell. That's no debate.
Right.
But there's a difference between being tribalistic and being racist.
Exactly.
Like, all racism is tribalistic, but not all tribalism is racist.
Exactly. Wow. I mean, I think that would be an awesome debate if me and you could get into that. But I don't know if they would agree anyway, because they know they would be out of it real quickly.
Well, yeah, because I bring all my sources and everything.
Yeah. Man, that'd be so awesome, though. I mean, it would bring down their stupid bullshit, too, on their channel with all their little bots that follow them.
Yeah.
I would love
I know
to
who
see
you
that
should debate.
Who?
R and Raw.
Yeah, I would love to.
He would just basically call you a moron or something the entire time.
Yeah, and he'll just try to talk over you. No, that's not it. No. That's all he does when I see people. In fact, I just watched him debate a guy today over the tag argument. And he just kept on saying, no, that's not it and stuff. Like any opposition to him, like he has to control. And people fall victim to him. A lot of people fall victim to his controlling behavior.
He is a feminist too, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I guarantee you, I would not let him control the debate. I would either overtalk him, and then eventually the moderator would have to stop it. But I would definitely not let him impose his controlling tactics on me. I know his tactics too. He likes to belittle people, and then he tries to control people. And that's basically it. And
he'll probably try to do the same thing with IP.
Yeah, probably. But I noticed, like, when there's bigger opponents out there, he is a little quieter, and I've noticed that. Like, I don't know. It's like he becomes a little more like he's more cautious or something. So,
guess what book I got?
What book?
The Founding Myth: Why Christian Nationalism is Un-American by Andrew Seidel.
Wow!
Oh, I'm going to so love tearing into this book.
Yeah. And there's a subject I think would be interesting for you. I'm definitely researching it right now, and that is the ancient Near East and how the Israelites were distinct from those other people. See, what's going on now these days, what atheists are trying to do is trying to lump them in what they call a composition fallacy, where they try to put the part and it makes the whole, and like it's a generalization fallacy. And I see Digital trying to do this over and over and over. He tries to put them in the same category as ancient Near Easters, and we know that there's distinctions. I mean, huge distinctions from the Mosaic covenant compared to the ancient Near Easters in those religions and those tribes back then.
What I might